Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our channel. The May 30th that was shifted to May 31st, 2021, on Biafra Remembrance Day to commemorate with the fallen heroes of Biafra, where it was said that never again will such happen. Of course, it was widely celebrated or widely observed, rather, and especially the five southeastern states. While as we speak, the governor of Ebonyi State is putting his radar on that May 30th, and looks like it's going to be good news depending on which angle you're looking at it. And of course, finally, they have decided to make a standpoint once and for all over the issue of the Fulanis. I guess this is good news also in the radar. But before going to the newspaper to find out what it is the Southeastern Governors Forum is doing concerning the issue of Biafra and May 30th and all the things, juicy things that went around it, we'd like you to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button. Beside it, you'll see a bell notification icon. By all means, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Okay, let's start straight to the news. Let's go straight into the news of the day. Following the sit-at-home ordered by the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB to commemorate the 54th anniversary of the declaration of the sovereign state of Biafra, Southeast Governors Forum chairman, that's David Umahi, has said that May 30th would be set aside as a day to remember millions of Igbo that lost their lives during the civil war. Governor Umahi of Ebonyi State, who stated this during a television interview yesterday, said there was the need to set aside a date to honor the Igbo who died during the 3 Years' War, insisting there was nothing wrong with it. He said if a proposal to do so comes before the Southeast governors, they would give it a consideration. Explaining the reason May 30th should be set aside in Anambra, Abia, Ebonyi, Enugu, and Imo states as a day to remember the dead, he said if the country can recognize June 12th as Democracy Day to honor MKO Abiola, winner of the 1993 presidential election, there was nothing wrong in setting aside a day to remember 5 million Igbo, including children who were killed during the war. People are beginning to say that even beyond the issue of sitting at home, there is a need to set a date to honor our brothers and our sisters who died during that civil war. And there is nothing wrong with it, especially with doing it. If that comes before the Southeast governors, we would give it consideration and put conditions, and one of them would be that if anyone decides to do otherwise, you must allow the person to exercise his or her rights. Children who didn't know the reasons for the declaration of that saga were brought down, and we are saying we should have a public holiday for people like them. We are saying if our leaders bring such proposition to us, and speaking for myself, we would grant that day as a public holiday, but there must be a proper request for this in one of our meetings. I believe that it would even be deliberated upon in our next Southeast Governors meeting. We have June 12th, dedicated to MKO Abiola. We also have a date set aside for our fallen heroes. So, there's absolutely nothing wrong with having a date set aside to mourn our dead. But it depends on the motive, because such a day is supposed to be a day of reflection. The Southeast leaders will be willing to set aside May 30 every year to honor our dead. The significance of that day, if set aside, is for each and every one of us to reflect and ask if we should have done things differently. Yes, we were being killed and we were being maltreated, but maybe there would have been an alternative. What is done is done. And the man who led us said there shouldn't be a second one, and that is where we are. Omar, he said. On the issue of insecurity, he said, since President Muhammadu Buhari has directed that anyone found with an unauthorized AK-47 should be dealt with going forward, any armed herdsmen seen in Ebonyi will be brought down, sacrosanct. The president has directed that anyone found with an unauthorized AK-47 is not a security agent. It's not a security agent, should be brought down. And this is very important for the governors. So if you are a header, whether you are an Igbo or Fulani or a Jaw, and you're armed with an AK-47 and you're coming to my place, even if it is with a stick, I would use it to bring you down. That is the order. That is the order of the president. He said, "All right, you have all heard what Governor David Umai has said concerning the issue of May 30th. It all began with Mazen Kanu saying, 'Look, we must honor the dead.' But it's good to know that the governors, southeastern governors, are beginning to see it in a different light. All right, this, if you ask me, is good news, and also the fact that finally everybody's beginning to understand that anybody who is armed with an unauthorized guns, should be brought down. The president said so, so why are we not honoring it? Okay, but that's for insecurity anyway. But looking at the May 30th Biafran Remembrance Day or Memorial Day, it's a nice one. It's a good one for sober reflection. It's wonderful, but these things get complete when marginalization is taken away. It will add salt to injury. Just speaking, it will add just salt to injury if there is what we call Biafra Remembrance Day. Never again, fallen heroes, Biafran Fallen Heroes Remembrance Day, which is on the 30th of May every year, and every day the growing youth, are seeing the marginalization going on in their region. Every year they're seeing how they're being sidelined in juicy appointments. Every year they're seeing the level of ethnicity card being played against them. Every year they're seeing their region being underdeveloped, and allocations meant for them, or funds meant for them, or allocation meant for them being sidelined. All these things, instead of it becoming sober reflection, it will quicken their move and get them even more vexed why they should want to do it again. So while we're asking for sober reflection, it's a good development in the right direction. But I also believe that you should, go forward, as in join it, give it body, give it value, by also including the Indigbos in the governance and the things and the affairs of Nigeria. That way, when they look at what they have lost and how they have been inculcated back into Nigeria, they will truly say never again. Other than that, the more you give them that Biafra Remembrance Day, and they're more marginalized than ever before, the more they get very vexed why they didn't get it right the first time. So while we're looking at giving them Biafra Remembrance Day, please let's also look at the issue of including them, into the affairs of the running of Nigeria. That way, they then genuinely, you are saying that we are sorry for what had happened. Yes, you are mourning for your loved ones, but now you are one of us. There's no victor, no vanquish, as was once said. And let it not just be just talk alone, but let there be action to the talk. Like MK Abiola, a lot of things happen, but finally they're recognizing the Democracy Day as June 12th, where a lot went down on that day, and now everybody is happy over it. We cannot keep pretending as if 1967 to 1970 never happened. It did happen. Even if you want to take it away from history, it doesn't take away the memories of those who have lived with that scar and who are passing it on from generation to the next generation. So even if it's not taught in school, it is taught in homes, especially those who are from the southeast. That's where we're going to wrap it up. Let's meet in our comment section. What's a take? Do have a nice